Morning, everybody. This is a very early stream for us. How are we all doing? Good, I hope. As you can see, we've got a lot of stuff here for our Chex Mix today. We're going to see if we can't make a couple and see how they turn out. Hold on. There we go. Alright, got my chat up and ready. So, first things first. Basically, we've got three different types we're going to make here. Bold, honey sriracha, and buffalo. I'm not going to use every ingredient for everything, but I am going to use kind of a mix and match system. They will have pretzels, nuts, and bagel chips and Chex. The Cheez-Its is going to be, we'll see what we feel like. First things first, I need to melt some butter. We are going to try and just make one batch, separate it into three, add in the seasonings to make them individual, cook the first one, and then we're going to try and see which ones we like. I did preheat a oven to 250. One stick of butter. Yeah, so we're going to bake this at 250 for 45 minutes. $45 minutes to an hour. Okay, so we want to melt the butter. And then we will divide out our seasonings. There's my three mixing bowls. Alright, so let's look at the ingredients and divide it by 3 so we know exactly how much. Okay, so for the sriracha is a 1/4 cup of honey. A 1/4 cup of honey. 1/4 of a third would be a 1/12, which is like nothing. So let's go ahead and just do, I don't know, a little more than a tablespoon. 3 tablespoons of sriracha hot sauce, which would, divided by 3, would be a tablespoon of hot sauce. Hold on. Sorry. The top was gummed up. Tablespoon of hot sauce. There we go. A little bit more honey. And then soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. That would be 6 tablespoons, so 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. No, excuse me. That would be 6 teaspoons, so 2 teaspoons. Alright. So, mix the butter with that. Just give you a little bit better view there. Alright, so there's the honey sriracha one. Obviously, we need to just mix it. Obviously, the hot butter will help with this. Okay. The next one is 1/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce, seasoning salt, and garlic powder. This is for the bold. I'm okay with going a little heavy on Worcestershire. I'm a big fan of the bold. Okay. 1.5 cups, not 1.5 cups, 1.5 tablespoons of seasoning salt. It's the only thing I didn't get out. That's togarashi. That would actually not be terrible. That's not what we're looking for. Alright, seasoning salt. Don't want to go too heavy. This is already an inherently salty dish. And then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then this is not in the recipe, but I'm going to add it anyway, is a little bit of onion powder. It's in the seasoning salt, so it's fine. Give that a stir. Like I said, we'll add the butter. Alright. Last one is the buffalo, which is Red Hot's celery seed. I don't have any celery seed. Cooking with them. Hey, Xander. How you been, my man? How's the UK treating you? Are you a right old bugger now? This is ranch seasoning. There's about 1/3 of a container. So I don't have any actual buffalo sauce, but I do have Frank's Red Hot stuff, and all you have to do is add butter. So it's already kind of its thing. Fuck no, I'm still very American. That's good. We wouldn't want you to lose your charm. I'm kidding. But are you enjoying yourself? Are you having a good time? Alright. The butter is nearly melted. Alright. Welcome back. Xander is here.
Hi, Skipper.
Hey. Yeah, Morgan just got back. She went and got some breakfast. Alright. So here's the honey sriracha butter sauce. Here's the Buffalo Ranch one. How have your classes gone, Xander? I mean, are you enjoying them, or do you like being out there? Do you miss home? Do you regret it? Are you learning a lot? Have you made friends? Do you have a job? Did your family move out there with you like you were very concerned they would? Specifically your dad? His dad's in the room.
Yeah. What?
Honestly, I'm struggling. 4th week, and you'd think I'd have my shit together, but I don't. I miss you guys so much. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I mean, we miss you too.
It's always hard starting back up.
Yeah.
School and...
Morgan is also struggling with starting school again. She is not...
Balancing it all out?
Yes.
Procrastinating too much?
We also had our New York trip, which definitely didn't help her. Alright, so there's Bold. Here's Buffalo. And here's Honey Sriracha. So I need 9 cups.
Hey, but I got an A in my first class.
Yeah, well, it was suspect a couple of times, if I'm being honest.
In the first class?
Yeah. Ciao, good morning.
Good morning.
I know. We don't usually start this early, but we've got stuff going on later today. So we're getting a head start. I have so much Chex Mix stuff, it's ridiculous.
That's what I was curious about. It's like, I know we'll eat it, but...
Well, I'm going...
You know, it's going free if you
We can freeze some, but also at the same time, like...
That was a joke.
I'm making 3 different types, and I'm figuring out which ones I want to continue to make. This
No.
first one is a test.
I understand.
Oh, okay. You're doing school, Morgan? Yeah. Watching you while I enjoy my tea. What kind of tea?
Yes, Xander, I'm going back to my MBA like a foolish person because work is paying for it or reimbursing me for it.
I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. Why didn't I just...
What?
So I'm making 1 batch and dividing it into 3. I know I need 3 cups of each. Why didn't I just measure a cup and just...
That's a good question. That was a very pregnancy brain move.
Well, I haven't made Chex Mix in years. Alright. Actually, that didn't work too bad. Can I get you to help me slightly?
Or I do have to do schoolwork.
No, I just need you to make me a tin foil barrier.
I can do that.
1 to, like, divide it into thirds. Yorkshire girl. Yorkshire gold. Why am I not struggling to talk? That's good stuff. I haven't had that in a long time. So, my family did indeed return to the U.S. Well, that's good. At least you're getting to, attempt it on your own. And you were worried, your dad would tear your family apart by, following you. So, that's kind of a positive. Reimbursement's lit. Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't be doing it otherwise.
I mean, have you at least, met some people there? I mean...
You have friends?
UK's cool. There's a lot of nice people there. I'm curious how the food is. And is the place you're staying air conditioned? Because I've heard air conditioning is hard to find in the UK.
What was that? Oh.
You're going to build me a barrier.
With
Yes.
the parchment paper under it?
The parchment paper should be the bottom layer, yes.
Writer?
Yeah. It felt like the perfect job for an engineer. I'm taking a break from my painting and eating some lunch. Yeah, I keep forgetting you have a pretty significant time differential. Okay, so this is going to be the bold. What would you put in the bold? Well, peanuts are going in all of them. Sorry, cashews. Why do I keep saying peanuts? I know this is a very scientific measuring a handful and a half. Pistachios. There is like no air conditioning here, only heaters. It's too cold for anything else. It gets warm and like sultry sometimes. Or
Poultry?
yeah, it rains a lot in the UK. They're on the coast.
I just like your choice of wording.
Hey, I took college English as a requirement, not by choice. Okay. Do you think honey sriracha would be better with white cheddar Cheez-Its, pepper jack Cheez-Its, or no Cheez-Its?
I was listening
Cool, love that for me.
because I couldn't hear you over the aluminum foil. If you want my honest, is that what you wanted?
Yes. Okay.
It doesn't look pretty, but
It doesn't need to look pretty. So,
what about me?
pay attention. This is bold, buffalo, honey sriracha.
Uh-huh.
I've got pepper jack and I've got white cheddar. Would white cheddar be better in honey sriracha, buffalo, or bold? Same with pepper jack. Honey sriracha.
I think I would say not. I don't know. Cheese works with buffalo.
Well, so I thought pepper jack would be better with buffalo.
Yeah.
It's more of a spicy thing. This is also just a test batch, so like if Cheez-Its don't end up in the final thing, that's not going to upset me because I don't really like Cheez-Its.
I don't think it.
I had a friend in northern England who thinks anything over 74 is too hot. And you know what? He's right.
He's right. And what's that one? Normal or bold?
Bold is normal. It's just it's more it's a little bit more savory.
I would have put these in there then.
You just told me to put them in buffalo.
I was working them. I was working one at a time.
Okay.
You don't have to put any in that one.
I wasn't gonna.
Okay.
He is correct. Xander agreed. Oh, that's a lot of bacon chips.
Do you want yours in the fridge?
No, I want to eat it while I'm baking.
I think this one's not right. It doesn't have any.
Now, do you have a pretzel preference? I know this is a dumb question, but I just thought I would ask. We have snaps and itty bitty. This is gonna have the least stuff in it, so that might be benefit. So
I figured it out.
my max is 86 as long as there's no humidity. Well, how often is where you're living getting past 86?
Do you want one of these in the fridge?
Yes, please.
You know?
What?
Those are so good. These taste better.
That's good to know. It is a test batch. complaining. We get major humidity here. But of course, indoors it feels like it's 72, 74. Currently, I hate my fine arts coursework, but my creative writing lectures have been awesome. What do you not like about the arts courses? It's because it's different than how you were doing it, in which case you're like, this isn't my method, I'd like to try something different, or is this like a you're just not inspired and or something along those lines? I don't know, I'm not very artsy. I like to believe that I have an artsy side of my brain, but then I'm also...
Is it too
Is it too prescription?
too prescriptive for you?
Yeah. I've been curious about hearing about this for a while, so I'm kind of excited you're here telling us about it. Okay, so... Specials.
What?
So that's a specials.
They should all be clean.
They are. I'm just saying, in order to season everything, I've got to mix it all up. Although, genuinely feels like I may have filled these too much with extra other stuff too.
You mean to keep dropping on the floor?
No. I divided everything in thirds, including like the filling or like the sauce recipe part. But it didn't make a lot of liquid. So that's my concern, is I may have put too much extra other stuff in here. Like, I didn't measure any of that. Like the nuts, or the Cheez-Its, or the pretzels, or the rye chips.
Well, let's look at the flavor.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit of the flavor.
Is there anything you're putting on the floor that the dog can't touch?
It's Chex Mix and a pretzel that I've smushed.
I don't know if we can have it fast though.
I wouldn't recommend he has this stuff, but
No. You did smush it.
I make mistakes.
He's over there for right now, so we're fine. I just don't want him eating it.
Alright. Let's give this mix. I've not found a reason to complain about the weather here. Oh, that's good. We're into fall weather here now, and I love it. Where's Skipper this morning? Skipper got to go to the PARK yesterday. I'm not 100% sure if he actually knows what that word is, but he definitely knows getting in the car. We say something else, but he's aware of that one. And he gets really excited. He's laying on the couch. He was laying outside because it was like 43 degrees or something this morning. Outside. God dang it. Ooh. I have an early favorite.
Yeah. Shocking.
I mean, I also haven't tried anything else, but...
We tend to like honey sriracha stuff.
Trash bag. It is now. Alright, let me wipe up some of this stuff. Yeah, Skipper's all tired. He's usually worn out for the rest of the day that you take him, and then a decent amount of the next day. He'll sleep for most of the day, and then at the very end, he'll get all his energy back. My fine art course work, so boring. It's not nearly restrictive enough. I also go into more detail about when I joined you guys for games. But in a nutshell, it's not teaching me anything new. No specialization. but it doesn't stop it from being incredibly time-consuming busy work. Oh.
Is it because it's like an introductory course?
Yeah, Morgan asked if it's because it's an introductory course. Because, I mean, I feel like you'll eventually get a chance at that kind of stuff, right? Like,
yeah, it's just sometimes later.
You gotta learn the basics before you can, get walked up on stage.
Is this course like a year? Or is it a semester?
I thought it was a two-year program.
No, the class.
Oh, the class? I think it's a semester. Yeah, I've got to start over from scratch here again. Hey, I mean, it's kind of good for you to go back to basics every once in a while.
Well, especially because you're in a new country with new everything.
I'm out here for 3 years. Well, you had mentioned before that you didn't think you were going to make it 3 years. Not like you couldn't pass the courses and do what you wanted, but more as just like a money and time thing. So,
also nice to have classes that aren't too bad in your first semester back.
yeah, Morgan indicated that it's also nice to have classes that are a little bit easier to pass while you work into, being back in school.
The time consuming is annoying.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's got nothing but time out there.
Yeah, but art stuff can be pretty time consuming.
I know, art stuff is very time consuming. I just tried to, when I try to commission art stuff, I'm like, Jesus, it takes forever. And they all want you to be very specific about everything. I'm like, no. Do what you want, have fun. I don't want to have to hold your hand.
But they're used to that.
No, if they're used to that, then I think they're doing it wrong. You want my honest opinion?
No, I mean, you're used to people being specific.
Oh, yeah.
And picky. Or not specific, but picky. So therefore criticize what they get.
I mean, art's, you can criticize what you get regardless. I'm just saying. Art is subjective. And if I commission something from somebody, I'm hoping that I get something awesome, but that doesn't necessarily mean I always will. But I'm allowed to say if I like it or dislike it. What are you hoping to do in the future with this degree? And then Xander says, I think I can make it here 3 years, probably just not anymore unless I get insanely lucky. I thought it was a 3-year course. Is it a 4 full year degree like a normal one? Anyone interested as to what we're doing with the Chex mix? I've just been mixing in the seasoning and then the sauces. I'm using a spatula, but I'm also trying to be very careful to not crumble everything. These bagel chips absorb so much liquid. I've never made Chex Mix before. Honestly, it's so much better than the stuff that you can buy, and there's a lot of microwaving options that are only all right. And Chex Mix sells a lot of powders, so that you can just add butter and then sprinkle on the powder, and then just throw it in the oven. But making this is super simple. It's just buying the ingredients, flavoring it how you want with butter, and then baking it for about 45-50 minutes in an oven at 250. Plus, it makes so much. It's only usually good for about a week, but apparently you can freeze Chex Mix. I don't know who's out there trying this and has had success, but we might be doing that. Publish a graphic novel and then write a screenplay for a music video is what Xander says. I didn't know that. My ex's grandma makes a really sweet and salty one. Yeah, those are good. I always like trying different flavors of Chex Mix. Right. So, you just want to spread this out relatively evenly and flatly. We're essentially just attempting to dry it out. All right, so that's the honey sriracha one, which is currently my favorite right now. I should have asked for the recipe. I'll figure it out. A sweet and salty Chex Mix would be pretty easy. I think. Just adding probably like a little bit of sugar to the butter. Because the salt is already inherently in Chex Mix. Like, you're supposed to use seasoning salt or Worcestershire or like Cheez-Its. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and overfill this and live with it. Stirring will be fun later. True. And she put craisins in it. See, that would be really tasty. I don't know how well the craisins would feel with the, like, sitting in the oven part, but I think it'd be really tasty. A lot of people do, like, nuts and Cheerios and call it nuts and bolts, which I actually really appreciate the naming convention on that. Okay. Oh, it was awesome. I mean, you're selling me on it. My aunt makes a lot of Chex Mix around Christmas and gives some to everyone. However, she's not really much a part of the family anymore. Kind of like, I don't know. Families grow apart, let's put it that way. Either by choice or by, mostly by choice or by, actions. But I feel like actions are choices. Anyway. So my mom now makes Chex Mix around Christmas. And I was like, I'm not waiting. I want some. I mean, I think this looks really nice, actually. I wish Morgan had brought these together a little bit more, but I guess I could have fixed that while I was, filling them. There we go. That's a little bit more even. All right, so we're going to put this in the oven for 20 minutes, pull it out. Why am I struggling? Toss it, do another 20 minutes, toss it, and then 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll put it on a rack. Well, not a rack. We'll just basically leave it to go. All right, so we've got all this. I have an Einstein bagel to eat. I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so 20 minutes at said temperature, 450. Yeah, hers had Chex, Cheerios, Crazy Peanuts. Yeah, she would have had it out at Christmas. Dude, Kimball, you would hate cooking out here. The options for ingredients is severely limited here. Jacket potatoes and bacon's buddy. LOL. Yeah. I 100% agree with you, Xander. I think I would hate it cooking out there. Um, there's a lot of reason. There's a lot of memes about cooking in the UK, and I mean nothing against it. It's what you have available. It's the technology. It's what you got. Morgan brought me back the all-nighter from Einstein Bros. Some bacon, 2 eggs, cheese, and some chipotle mayo. I'm a pretty big fan of this. Yum. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of reasons people go down to pubs to eat dinner in the UK. That being said, there's some UK stuff I would love to try. Toad in a hole. I know I could make that because it's essentially like a Yorkshire pudding with a sausage in it. But I mean, it sounds wonderful. I love a full English breakfast. We have an Irish place that does one, but I think they do it terrible. I'm a big fan of the pies. Yeah, they eat a lot out here. Well, I mean, you almost have to. I mean, if you don't have the stuff to do it at home and a restaurant has the ingredients, the things you like, and it's not terribly expensive, I don't know what the prices are out there. But eating out here in the US is ridiculous. Love a good meat pie. Yeah, me too. I actually plan to batch make a bunch of pies for when Morgan finally births the baby. My plan is we're gonna get a deep freeze, and I'm gonna fill it with lasagna, pies, and batch made stuff, just so it's throw it in the oven and be done with it. At least for that first initial couple of weeks. Because I don't know how I'm gonna stream while also newborn baby. Unless we're just all right, guys, we're making Kraft macaroni and cheese today. Thanks for showing up. It's been nice talking with you. I need some sleep. But it'll be fun. Oh. We were on Friday, we both got done a little early from work. I tend to get done early on Fridays because I start super early. But she took some time off because the cat needed to get her arthritis shot. Really excited for you guys. Thank you, Xander. We're excited about it too. We do know it's going to be a boy, so I don't think you knew that. But yeah, so she got done with that really quickly. And so we ended up running some errands. Went to the liquor store and bought a bunch of stuff. I say a bunch. A bunch for me is 5 or 6 things. To try and recreate one of the alcoholic drinks I had in New York. It was a sake sangria. They called it the Sakeria. They used a yuzu sake It was then pineapple juice, peach schnapps, lemon juice, and like lemon soda, so Sprite, 7-Up, something. I did recreate it, and it was very good. I had that Friday night. And then Saturday, we went to lunch, and we had some of the worst, like, Italian food I've ever had. And I mean, I've had some bad Italian food, but like, we went to this place, we sat down, there was like one other like family eating there, and it was like 1:30, so it was a really late time for us to be eating lunch. We're very much like on 11:30, 12. We just taking the dog to the you know where, and then getting back, showering, cooling down, figuring out where we wanted to go eat, all that stuff. You know, the fun things that happen when you get married. Um, so we go in there, and the menu looks all right. We order some arancini for an appetizer, which, you know, are like fried rice balls. These ones had cheese in the middle. Was excited about that. And then I ordered an Italian sausage because I saw one as we were walking in and it looked good. So we sat there, waited a little bit, and then the arancini shows up, followed by the Italian sausage. Morgan eats one of the arancini and she goes, And I was like, oh, it's either really good or absolutely terrible. So I cut mine in half because I want to like run it through the sauce. And in the middle is just this really light cheese that looks like it hasn't been cooked at all. We're like, the heck? I go to take a bite. She goes, was the inside of yours frozen? I was like, yes, it was. So the cheese had been frozen. It like had been fried for all of like 5 seconds. So those were no good. And then I opened up the Italian sausage. Like I took one cut and like the entire inside was raw. And I was like, what is going on here? I've never been to a restaurant that had like that issue. And so the main food I ordered a wrap. It's supposed to be chicken, sweet corn, bruschetta. What else? There was like a fruit in there. Apple, maybe? Anyway, it was supposed to be really tasty. And then it got here and I took 2 bites and I was like, I hate this. Morgan got angel hair pasta with like olive oil, cheese, and tomatoes. She's not a big tomato fan, so she just ate some of the stuff. And when we left, we were like, that was the worst we've ever had. So then I went to the store and bought all the stuff for Chex Mix. Well, I bought all the ancillary stuff for Chex Mix. I had the boxes of Chex Mix and the pretzels for like 5 days now. It's been sitting on my table ready to go. So we get in there and she drops me off because I figure I just got to run and grab like 3 or 4 things real quick. And I get stuck behind this family, and there's this mom with 2 younger girls, and I just kind of walk around them, but I can hear them talking, and it was really funny. She was being like, "You need to fix your attitude," because the kid was like, "I want this, I want that. I'm gonna go walk over here." So she picked her up, put her in the car. She's like, "You need to fix your attitude." Wasn't really paying that much attention, but I ended up going to another aisle and then coming back and having to swing back around because I forgot something. And I was going the opposite way of her. And as I was coming up, she was still with the kid. And the kid's like, well, why aren't you letting me watch? She's like, you still need to fix your attitude. And the kid said to her, she's like, I fixed my attitude. I went to the bathroom and washed it. So now it's fixed. And I heard the mom just go, and like try to stifle a laughter. She's like, that's not how it works. But I don't know why, but that struck me so funny. I started laughing, and I was like, oh, I was like, I kind of want to follow this family around for a little bit, see if there's any other ridiculous stuff. I was like, I hope my kid does stuff like that. Anyway, dumb story. So then, yeah, got home yesterday, and then basically she watched the Alabama football game. I went and took a nap which was much needed. And then for dinner, what did we do for dinner? Oh, we went to a place called Meddy's, which is a highly recommended if you're in Kansas City. Problem is, it's super packed. It's a like Greek, Middle Eastern type place. They do like shawarma. They do uh, chicken rice bowls, garlic potatoes, hummus, um, falafel. Uh, I always get the uh, chicken bowl, which is like lemony rice uh, with chicken on it with this really garlicky tzatziki sauce that's fantastic, and a little bit of onion tomato relish. I get that, and then with a side of hummus with pita, and the hummus has like chickpeas on it that are really nice. They like I don't know if they fry them real quick, but they're like crispy. They're delicious. So we had that, and I just chowed down. And then we went to the store next to it because we were there. I ended up buying like more Chex Mix stuff because I've got a problem. That's where I got the Cheez-Its, the white bagel chips, which I can't find those anywhere. I can only find the rye ones, but I like both. I was very surprised to find those. Look, there's Skipper. Passed out. He knows when you're looking at him. All right, we're about 7 minutes from the first stirring, tossing. This is where my mistake of overfilling the pan is going to come back to haunt me. I'm either not going to get everything turned, I'm going to crush a bunch of stuff, or I'm going to spill it everywhere. So I'm really excited about that for me. We're going to throw a poll up and see what everyone thinks it's going to be. God knows I got channel points with nothing to spend them on. Really got to get around to that. Mostly I don't have ideas. Inspiration strikes me randomly and infrequently. Like I've been trying to figure out if I want to do a Halloween stream. Where I make like Halloween themed foods. And I say Halloween themed foods, and that makes me think of like, oh, you get people who make like cupcakes with like spiders on them or stuff like that. And I was like, no, I want to do something a little more spooky. My current iteration of this plan or thought is to make meatloafs, like miniature meatloafs, and then make them into brain shapes. That way the barbecue sauce kind of looks like blood or helps it like, be the color that a brain would be. Pumpkin mac and cheese, yeah. I thought about doing a like mashed potato graveyard. If you put it in like a casserole dish and sprinkle cheese over the top and put the broiler on, then it'll look like dirt. And then you can use like half a piece of like crusty bread to use like the tombstones. Use some parsley as like flowers for the gravestone. And that's where I run out of ideas. I have like corn ribs, like getting like a plastic skull from like the Spirit Halloween store, and like corn ribs, which is, you take fresh corn, you cut it into fourths, and then you cook it, and it starts to like bend, bow, doing a bunch of those and make it like a skeleton, like rib cage on a plate. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't think it would look great on a plate. like trying to make the plate picture, but I think it would look cool together. And then I also thought about like I saw somebody do jalapeno poppers where they uh like took Pillsbury dough and like cut it into stripes and made it like a mummy and then put two like little eyes on it. Um which I thought wouldn't be too bad. That's inspiration for everyone. That's why there's exercises like free writing. Yeah, but I don't know that like free writing and like trying to come up with cool cooking ideas are necessarily the same thing. Because I do have cool ideas that I think would make awesome books, but I can't write to save my life. Uh, I do a lot of technical writing for my job, and generally it needs to be pretty heavily edited. My grammar is atrocious. I'm very much a like this, then this, then this, like state facts kind of guy. I can't write. It doesn't help me when it comes up to like making food things because in my mind it is also a list. I'm very much list oriented, which is very strange. This has come out in like the second part of my life. Never did this as a teenager. Yeah, for Halloween stream, I'm still deciding if I want to do one. Yeah, I think it'd be fun because I have costumes I could dress up. I did a really fun April Fool's one at the start of the year. That was like my highest viewed one, minus like when raids have happened. Um, so, but this is not going to be the same as that, but it'd be similar in the vein. Um, I just like Halloween, but I also feel like there's not going to be a lot of people watching because it's Halloween. Like, but it's also a Thursday, which I don't really stream a lot on Thursdays. I did last Thursday just because I felt like I needed to stream. It's been so long, with the vacation and the work travel and stuff like that. So that's why I've been like debating about it. I'm planning like I'm going to do one, but I haven't really gone super hard at it. I do want to do like dirt and worms, so like chocolate pudding with Oreo crumbles and like gummy worms and stuff as like a dessert. Whether I do that for stream or do that for fun. No, I mean I'm loosening up your creative joints, so to speak, throwing something together without thinking about it. Yeah, I get it. I'm just not. That is definitely not a strong suit for me. I very much have to like analyze and overanalyze everything. Or like an elevated dirt and worms with a chocolate panna cotta. That would be really nice. No writing involved. Are you suggesting I do a cooking one where I just go into the pantry, pull things out, and say, I have to make something with this? I'm the same way. Oh. Chow, have you been successful in making panna cotta? Because I've tried it twice, like a vanilla yogurt panna cotta, and both times it's turned out gross. Maybe I'm just following the wrong recipes or the wrong types. I'm curious if you've got a good idea or a good. I've never made panna cotta before. Oh, yeah, I have. Let me pull up my recipe app. I'm too lazy to bloom gelatin. I don't even think mine had gelatin in it. Let's see. Dessert, all. Greek yogurt, honey, panna cotta. 1 teaspoon gelatin, 1 cup whole milk, 1 cup heavy milk, 2 strips of orange peel, 4 tablespoons of Greek honey, 2 tablespoons of vanilla bean yogurt. Soften the gelatin in a couple of tablespoons of milk for 10 minutes. I mean, oh, we'll get back to this. Hold on, we got to go stir. Well, it has gelatin. I just didn't remember it had gelatin. All right, we're going to pull this out for the first time and do our first stir. It smells wonderful, though. As you can see, a lot of it's already started to dry up. Don't go under the foil. No, I did it to the other side. Yes, yes, I hear you. Ooh, you can't mix. The thing I'm going to find is there's not enough dressing or like seasoning liquid. I think is what I'm going to find. Okay. Alright, that one's done. Now for the buffalo. Doing my best to try and not break anything while doing this. Yes, yes. Okay. Last section, this is the bold or the original. I'm doing my best to try and shift the top layer. Come on under here. Okay, actually, that went pretty well. All things considered, I didn't crush anything. I didn't make too big of a mess. That one's about to jump ship. All right, another 20 minutes. Our mess. Sounds like too much liquid, not enough gelatin. Stirring. That's why I do lemon posset. Because there's no gelatin, it's almost like a panna cotta X pudding. Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. Let's see if there's anything else for trash. We really need to shake this out. I don't really tend to make pudding from scratch all that often. I use box pudding because it's so much easier. And generally it's the kind that like needs 30 minutes of like fridge. I don't know what that says about me. I do make a lot of other stuff from scratch. I think just like custards and puddings in general are something that like terrifies me. Not enough that I won't do it, but it's generally like a very like big to do to get me to do it. and for me to like do it right. Because I've made custard 2 or 3 times on stream, and if you were to look back at the amount of times I made custard my entire life, it's 4 times. Rednificent says a lot. Yeah. Thanks, Red. How you doing, man? Hadn't seen you in a little bit. I like your little purple frowny guy. Good morning. The lemon posset is just lemon juice, sugar, and heavy cream, which is why I like it super easy. I mean, it honestly kind of sounds like lemonade. Lemon juice, sugar, heavy cream. Well, heavy cream is not lemonade, but you know what I mean. Sugared lemon juice. Good morning, Red. We're doing an early one. Lemonade shake, so good. Yeah, there you go. You got my back there. It's my brother-in-law and my father's joint birthday today at my parents' house. So they want to do that at 2:00, and it's gonna be dinner. It's the weird Sunday, like super early, like lunch dinner thing. We're having tacos, but it's like, do I come home and then stream at like 7 p.m. on a Sunday with work the next day, or do I just bust out something super easy in the morning? I honestly thought about doing this and then making like egg salad sandwiches because I've had a hankering for a nice egg salad sandwich. And then Morgan was like, the old 1 p.m. dinner. Yeah, it's a very Midwest thing, I think. Then Morgan was like, hey, do you want to grab something for breakfast? And I was like, well, I'm planning to stream soon. And she's like, oh, I'll go grab something. And she brought back Einstein Brothers bagels. I was like, well, now I don't need to make. I was like, that was going to be my time filler, was making egg salad. And now I'm just sitting here talking. It feels weird. It feels like I'm being interviewed. Your new presidential candidate. Even though I still technically can't run for president for almost 7 years. I'm gonna be so glad when we're make deviled eggs. Dude, don't put deviled eggs in front of me. I have so many people I know who hate deviled eggs. I destroy them. I will say the last time I made deviled eggs, I made the mistake of putting too much mustard. Tell me, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Probably in a mirror. I've never met someone who doesn't destroy them. Yeah. um, yeah, it's pretty bad. My mom will make like 3 dozen, like deviled eggs for like a holiday as like snack or something. And I'll just sit there and just like, while we wait for 3 hours for like Thanksgiving to be ready or Christmas or whatever it is that we're doing as a family. And then by then they're like, "Where's all the deviled eggs?" And I was like, "Well, I got that devil in me." That was good. Thank you, Xander. That was the first thing I thought of. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I don't know. That's a question that's difficult because I always feel like whenever I try to look forward, I can only really accurately see maybe 3 to 5 years. Because I think long-term planning, when you start a family, you have a job, you have a house, is continue doing that. I'd have to make like 60 because at least 12 are going down before I get anywhere. Yeah, I don't know if it's you or me, but I always overfill my eggs too. Like, you break all the stuff out and then you like start filling it and you're like, I have like 6 empty eggs here. It's like, oh, I guess I'm just having egg whites. Yeah, 3 to 5 years is generally where I can be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Maybe we'll move. Maybe we'll do this. But like 10 years from now, I don't know, man. Or we're talking about 2 political administrations from now. You're talking about entirely different economic or ecological world, possibly. I don't know. It's all up in the air. It's all scary. It's all unknown. And it's all fun, full of potential. Yeah. I don't know. I hope I'm still, doing something like this and having fun. Wow, you started taking the interview bit seriously and then ad played. Was it a good ad? I hope it wasn't political. I hope in 10 years we have still have Skipper. It's all British too. Wow. Is it all Cadbury and Kit Kats? I learned today that Kit Kats were actually from the UK. I did not know that. And frankly, I mean, I think Kit Kats are okay. Morgan, they're like one of Morgan's favorites. British toothbrush and cats. I feel like there's a joke to be made there that I'm just not comfortable making. But yeah, I hope we have Skipper around. I used to love Kit Kats. Why do you not love Kit Kats? I think they're fine. I think they've done a really bad job of like making the fun flavors here in the US. Like they kind of release them as like limited time stuff, but I've never found it even be that good. But the Japanese Kit Kats are like super devourable. Hard to get, but super super good. Um, I've had the green tea Kit Kat, disgusting. I just don't like green tea. Like matcha and green tea is never. It's too bitter. I mean, even normal tea is usually too bitter for me without a sweetener and like lemon or honey or Splenda. Sweet and low is preferred, but that sounds disgusting. Yeah, I've tried the matcha ones, not a fan. But we've taken them to Morgan's work and they love them. They go to town on them. Reese's sticks too. I haven't seen a Reese's stick in years, man. I feel like those are gone. Uh, we've done. Let's see, what Kit Kats have we done? We've done the strawberry. I saw a coffee one. We went to the Asian market yesterday, and I saw a coffee one. We both went, nah. Um, we've seen strawberry. We've seen lemonade. We've seen. Yeah, strawberry was all right. It was, but it just also, I don't know. It's got a weird aftertaste. I feel like a lot of American stuff has a weird aftertaste sometimes. Coffee would be good, but I'd rather have a coffee crisp. See, I think Kit Kats were originally meant to be like a coffee stirrer. Like you run it on the inside rim of your coffee or tea, and it would like melt the chocolate, and then you'd have the wafer underneath. But now we just got to the point where it's just like, oh, I got four stick. You smack them. If you want a coffee sweet, coffee cake. Yes, but you don't have to have coffee cake with coffee. And also, there is no coffee in coffee cake, which is why I like it. It's not like tiramisu that has espresso in it. There's a lot of like chocolate recipes that call for like instant coffee mix because it helps accentuate the extenuate. No, that's it helps to make the chocolate taste better. Exactly. Yeah. Well, you're in the land of the UK. You should be drinking tea, man. Where's your scones or scones? Sorry. Where's your cucumber sandwiches? Where's your tea time? Where's your clotted cream? Your marmalade? I heard a very German man order marmalade at the cafe in New York on our trip last week. Uh, or sorry, 2 weeks ago. God, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, last week. That the The way he said it just made me laugh. And it wasn't like a mean laugh, but just like I love hearing other people's pronunciations of stuff. I love coffee flavored stuff, coffee, ice cream, etc. Red. We were so close. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, a lot of people love the coffee stuff. I just. How did he said marmalade instead of marmalade? Marmalade. It was just in a like a heavy German accent too, so it was just like every syllable was like dragged out. It was like, oh, I like that. Happy Sunday, Ghetto. Hey, welcome. How you been, man? How was your New York trip? Literally, no one is showing me the way of tea. Everyone just drinks only. You're gonna have to qualify that sentence. Marmalade is fucking delicious. I think you mean you're saying is delicious. Well, marmalade is just jam using the rind of whatever type of fruit you're going for. So, commonly orange, and then you've got, lemon. Just got to make sure you don't get the pith in there. It's very bitter. That's the white part. Good, it was fun. I always love NYC. Washington was a little too different than I expected. How was your New York trip? Well, my trip to New York City was pretty fun. Alcohol is the only thing they drink out here. Oh, I mean, that's probably true. But I mean, there's people who drink tea. It was fun. We flew in Monday 2 weeks ago, and our plane was delayed because I guess there was wind so bad they shut down all of the airports to like one runway. So we waited an hour and a half extra to take off. We flew there, and then in the process, they told us that we were going to have to circle for 45 minutes before we got our chance to land. We were supposed to be there about 9. We didn't get in till closer to like 11:30. And then it was a 45-minute drive from the airport to the hotel, which was supposedly only 15 miles. But it took 45 minutes. So we got there like around midnight later, and there was a line to check in already. So that was interesting. I was very surprised how active New York was at 12:30 on a Monday. Like I kind of thought it would be a little bit more quieter, which took some getting used to because we had a very busy street that we were like next to. So honking. There was a firehouse literally next door to our hotel, and that went off multiple times, probably like 15 times over the course of a week. I don't mind sounds while sleeping as long as they aren't like crazy, but it was very surprising. Oh yeah, downtown is lively out there. It's awful. Yeah, I got used to it. Let's put it that way. But it took a couple of days. So Tuesday we got up, and Tuesday was a banger for food. So more staying at this place, I guess. Honestly, it was a normal hotel. Morgan went to New York before. She stayed in a place that was like this thin. She's like, there was like maybe 6 inches on either side of the bed or something to like move and stuff like that. She's like, it was really cramped. You would have hated it. Ours was like a normal hotel room. It was a nicer place. It was a little more expensive. It was also 2 blocks from Times Square and it was basically on Broadway. I did not know that when she booked it because I would have liked to have been out of the touristy areas because we got accosted multiple times with like, come get on our sightseeing bus, or you here, do this, sign up for that. And I'm like, no. Oh, Broadway, yeah. It was a nice place. I enjoyed the room. I just, like I said, it took a little getting used to like the noises outside. A lot of honking, fire trucks, stuff like that. But I was so tired by the end of the day, a lot of it didn't matter because we walked and metroed everywhere, which was the only place I ever metroed before was DC whenever I go there for work. So Tuesday was a banger for food. We went to a place called High Collar, which was a Japanese restaurant. Went there and we got Hayashi rice and Oma rice, like an Oma rice on Hayashi rice, which was delicious. We got Japanese spaghetti, which is the ketchup style spaghetti. I thought it was going to be weird. I actually really loved it because it wasn't like ketchup, it was like vinegary. So it was nice. And it was very like vegetable forward. It had sausages, mushrooms, green onions, or sorry, not green onions, green peppers and white onion. And it tasted more like green peppers and onions and mushrooms than it did anything else. And then with like a vinegary taste. Xander, I got to get back to work. I'll see you later. At me if you're doing games tonight. Will do, Xander. And then I also got a Hamburg steak. I'm trying to say it like how it's pronounced, but I'm really terrible at that, and I don't want to be offensive. So we tried like 7 things. I got a highball, a Japanese highball, which is Japanese whiskey and soda water. I wanted to try one. Didn't like it. I'm not an alcohol drinker very often. But the food was fantastic. Loved it. And then for dinner, we went to a place called Frankie's 357. Tanner, yo, Mr. Kimball, why so early this time? We're doing it early is because my family is doing a joint birthday party for my dad and my brother-in-law at 2. So I was either going to have to do a really late stream or a really early stream. So I decided to go with really early. We're doing Chex Mix. We have the first batch in the oven as a test batch. We're going to see which flavor we like. We've got Bold, which is like a Worcestershire seasoned salt, onion, garlic powder type flavor. We've got a buffalo, so like buffalo wings. So it's like buffalo sauce, ranch powder. And then we have a honey sriracha soy one, which I did taste before it was cooked. And that is currently my favorite. So we're going to try them all and see if we want to like drop a flavor and just make normal and the honey or vice versa or all of them. Let's see how cool. What the funk is Chex Mix? You need to tell me. Chex Mix, here, let me grab a box. Have you seen Chex? Corn Chex, rice Chex, wheat Chex, Chex. It's a cereal. And on the back is a recipe for Chex Mix Party Mix, which is essentially a mix of all 3 cereals, pretzels, nuts, other things. It's kind of like a party mix or like a trail mix that you would make, but it's mostly like very carb heavy. You basically mix these cereals together and whatever else you want. So like I've got pretzels, I've got rye chips, I've got cashews, I've got pistachios. I have Cheez-Its, if you're familiar with those. I've never heard of these. Consider me just European people. Yeah, so generally they sell... You can buy the cereal and make it yourself, or they sell it in bags, like in the chip aisle. Here... and it's like a party treat. You like put it in a big bowl and you leave it out for people to eat as like an appetizer or as a snack. So think of it like peanuts at the bar if you go to the bar and drink or something like that. Oh, actually here, that sounds so good. They have great Japanese restaurants in New York. Yes, we will continue talking about that. We actually went to like 3 Japanese places and all of them were fabulous. Okay. So, here is the second and final stir. So like I said, here we've got it divided up into 3. Here's the bold flavor, which is the original with the Worcestershire. Here's the honey sriracha. And here's the buffalo. As you can see, we've got bagel chips, rye chips, pretzels, cashews. This is a white cheddar Cheez-It. There's pistachios in here as well. And then we got all 3 types. I'm doing my best to not, like, break everything. You essentially just mix these together with some butter and some other seasonings that you're like, you want it to be flavored like. You pour it, mix it, and then you bake it in the oven for about 45, 50 an hour at 250. It makes a really nice, delicious mix. All right. So I'm just trying to get this nice and even so it all gets its chance to dry out. Sorry if you're chatting. I did leave the thing at the table. I'll be back to it once we get this all kind of mixed and flipped. Oop. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Chex Mix. This usually gets made around Christmas for a lot of people, or like having a party. You can also just buy it instead of making it yourself, but it's fun to like come up with your own flavors. Plus, you can freeze it and make a lot. All right, I'm spilling this time. All right, back in the oven for about 15 minutes and then we're done. Then we'll give it a little bit, we'll taste it, and we'll decide what we're going to go with. Back to the table. Oh, gotta set a timer. Been a while since I've been to the bar, to be honest, but got the idea. Interesting, kind of nice. You watching football today? Perfect for a football match, I assume. Yeah, this would actually be a really good thing to have at like a Super Bowl party or any sort of, watching sports where you're in a snack. Are we watching? We're probably watching the Chiefs game at my parents' house. I think it's an early game today. My wife is much more knowledgeable on that. For sure, perfect for watching a game. Yeah, Ghetto knows exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, so we went to Frankie's 357 for dinner on Tuesday. And like I said, Tuesday was a banger for meals. I've seen something yesterday regarding Kansas. What's that? I'm pulling up my pictures because the first day I did not record everything we ate, but every other day I wrote down everything we ordered and ate. So let me just refresh my mem. I saw you guys produce the famous Da Bomb hot sauce in Kansas. Yes, we do. Do you watch the hot ones? I've had Da Bomb. It's pretty terrible. There's a lot of hot sauces out there that like they do a good job of like making it taste good and be hot. The Bomb just makes it hot. We actually have a place called Grinders. It's a pizza place, and they have ridiculously hot sauces that they like will serve you wings of or do pizzas. You've had it? I could never eat it, not even taste. Yeah, I like hot sauce. I'm willing to try a lot of things. I'm not willing to try like eating a full like pepper because I'll shit myself. But I'm willing to try like I tried like a 5 million Scoville like dip of hot sauce once. It didn't taste good and made my mouth go numb, and it took about 20 minutes for me to stop sweating, but I did it. I don't know. I'm willing to try stuff, but some stuff like doing it for the sense of pain, nah. If it's to like, oh, does this taste good? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. You know what I mean? All right, so I don't think you can see this, but we started off with this appetizer. It was ricotta and honey crostinis. There's two of them, and it was like cremini mushroom, and they were absolutely fabulous. I don't think you can actually see that. I could post them on Discord if people actually want to see it. They were fabulous. I then got a fresh bufala mozzarella salad with arugula, and it was the best salad I've ever had. Like, I'm not an arugula kind of guy because it tends to be super peppery. This was awesome. Morgan got this gnocchi. It was very basic. She even said it was basic. I got a brown butter, sage, and hot sausage cavatelli, which was fabulous. I even had Morgan try it, and she was like, "This is some of the best stuff I've ever had." Then we got a creme brulee, which, I mean, that's basic. And then their like specialty thing was prunes and red wine over a meringue, which it was only okay. It was interesting to try, but it was like not sweet at all. The owner said it's not made or designed as an individual dip. It's made more for a large pot of chili or something. What's good, huh? Yeah. That's French or Italian, I assume. It's Italian. Yeah. Then the next day we went and Wednesday we did Juniors, which was like on Times Square. It was like the only breakfast place that showed up like first when you search. Morgan really likes breakfast, and I indulge her on breakfast. It's not my favorite. But I will say, like, breakfast restaurants at New York, this is going to hurt somebody's feelings, are kind of bad. I know people are big about the bodegas and bagels, and those are separate things. I'm talking about just like a diner, normal place to go in and get like a couple of eggs, some bacon, hash browns, pancakes, stuff like that. Every breakfast place I had that tried to do that was terrible. Did you have New York hot dogs? Most important. I did not. No, I did have a hot dog in New York. I had bagels, but I only had one hot dog. Well, at Junior's, we did try the Brooklyn Special, which is the egg cream, which is basically, you bet, chocolate mix, milk, and then soda water. So it's like a carbonated chocolate milk. Actually, kind of good. Unfollowed, JK. That's fine. As long as you show up, you can unfollow as long as you just keep coming and watching. But we ordered normal breakfast there. It was okay. Later for lunch, we went to Serendipity 3. What about the famous pastrami sandwich? No, we did not go to Cat's Deli because it is like an hour and a half line for a pastrami sandwich, which Morgan will not eat a pastrami sandwich. And I am not like super. I like pastrami. I like corned beef, but not enough to like wait in line. Apparently, some people have done like some taste tests, and there's a place in Omaha, Nebraska that apparently has a better pastrami sandwich than Katz. So my plan is to go there and try it. I believe you. Breakfast must be better down south. It's a culture thing too. What if I unfollow and don't watch anymore? Well, then you're just going to have a sad life, like without me. How will anyone answer your questions about Midwest cuisine? We went to Serendipity 3 for lunch, which is like a huge tourist spot. They're known for having multiple world records for having the most expensive frozen hot chocolate, hot dog, hamburger. They're all like over $1,000 with like gold and all this other stuff. We did not get any of that, so don't get your hopes up. We did go for the frozen hot chocolate, which is what they're known for. Here is the picture of the frozen hot chocolate. Like I said, my friend went crazy for White Castle. I was like, "Are you serious? It's good, but not crazy." Really, White Castle? White Castle actually, I believe, was started in Wichita, Kansas. Um, but I don't think there's any in Kansas anymore. They make little miniature burgers. They're actually based off of like the original like steamed burgers way back from the Northeast. George Motz does a really good job about that. He does. He's on First We Feast, like on Hot Ones. Things you cannot get, you tend to prefer. I agree with that. Um, because it's more special when you get it. Uh, this is what I ordered at Serendipity. Um, it was called the fried chicken, or the no Sunday dinner fried chicken Sunday or something like that. It is a uh, it is a goblet filled with cheese, French fries, some peas sprinkled in, and then some chicken strips, a scoop of mashed potatoes, and a cherry tomato on top to make it look like an ice cream sundae. Now, you see this and you go, I bet you that's really tasty and good. I'm going to tell you it was terrible. I barely ate any of it. I was so excited. I was like, oh, this sounds cool. And then it came out. I was embarrassed that it was sitting in front of me. And when I tasted it, I was like, this is sucks. The chicken was so dried out. It looked like it had been fried the like 4 days before. The mashed potatoes were like instant mashed potatoes, like flakes. It was terrible. There was no gravy. The cheese was molten hot. Uh, and then the fries were fine. That's a shame. A lot of the fried chicken joints have great reviews with waffles. Yeah, that would be great. Here's what Morgan got and was actually good, which is a macaroni filled hot dog. This was the hot dog that I had while we were there. So it's a foot long hot dog filled with macaroni and cheese. The hot dog was a good hot dog. I ended up like picking macaroni and cheese off and eating some of it. Um, Told you go for the hot dog. Yeah, I learned. So that was lunch, and then that night we went to a place called Rice and Beans, which is I believe was a Michelin star restaurant that does Brazilian food, and not like Brazilian steakhouse where they come by and like shave it off for you, like traditional Brazilian food. We tried a bunch of stuff there. It was pretty good. I had this dish. Let's see if I can even read the name. I couldn't read the name when I ordered it, so I'm sure I'm gonna butcher it here. We had cheese bread sliders, Brazilian sausage with onions and yuca, a Brazilian salad, which was actually my favorite thing, a beef stew, and then the house specialty, which was a black bean bake. Um, the black bean bake, let me show you a picture of that, was basically a bunch of stewed meats in black beans, and it was really good, but it was also like incredibly like hot. It was in a little cast iron thing. It sat for 20 minutes and it still scalded my mouth. But there's a pork rib in there. There's some of the Brazilian sausage. There was pork belly, and then a couple pieces of brisket, I think. Not a vegetarian Michelin star restaurant, that's for sure. Yeah. And then here's Morgan's beef stew she got that she loved. Probably some picahana too. Yeah, I think that's actually what it is. That's their staple. But apparently that black bean baked dish is like the national dish of Brazil. Um, Morgan got a dessert that was basically like dark chocolate nonpareils, and she loved it. I asked them what they suggested I get, and they basically suggested to me flan, which was fine. I just was like, oh, I thought it'd be something like a little bit more special. That's their staple, yeah. So that was the second night of food. The third night, or excuse me, the third day was Thursday, which was the start of the convention. Because we were there for New York Comic Con. So it started at 10. We wanted to be there early to get in because the first day is usually when we get all of our artist commissions. So like you get in, you talk to them, be like, hey, can you draw this for me? How much? When will it be done? You do it the first day. That way you can get it done before the weekend's out. So we left at 9 to walk down there. It was a 1.2 miles from our place to the convention center. We walked it. We stopped at a bakery along the way that was like an Italian bakery. It was decent. Morgan got a donut and I got like a sandwich, like a little tiny like croissant sandwich with prosciutto on it. Pretty tasty. We got to the con, talked to some people, got our commissions. We went and talked to everyone we already got like pre-commissions, which is we contact them before the show and they're supposed to have it for you when you get there. None of them had it ready, so we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll get a couple and then we'll go check things out. We spent about half the day there. We had got invited to a pop-up store for Shonen Jump. They're one of the big manga like companies that puts out like the weekly magazines. We have the app, and so they're like, we're doing a pop-up here. And it was like 30 blocks away, but it was close to a hamburger place that we wanted to go. So we walked about, I don't know, between a mile and a mile and a half, or excuse me, a half mile and a mile to get on the subway, wrote it down, got to this place, got off on the wrong stop, walked another 7 or 8 blocks, and we stopped at a place called Hamburger America. All right, let me get back to that. All right, we're going to pull out the Chex Mix and let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to do a taste test. Ooh, yum. All right, so that's still pretty hot. We're going to let that hang out. Let's turn the timer off. Why did I bring this with me? Whatever. Hamburger America. It is a new restaurant from George Motz, who I talked about on here, who's like the guy known for like hamburger history. That's a lot of carbs. It is. I'm not planning on eating all of this now. This is a taste test. Then we're gonna make some more, and then we're either gonna freeze it or we're gonna give it away. I like to cook for people. So a lot of the times you see me make a giant amount, it goes to work with me or my wife or to our comic book shop where we give it away or to my family or occasionally to our neighbor. Although we don't, that's like a last resort. All right, have fun, sir. Yeah, we're not done by any means. We're just letting it rest and then we'll give it a test. Oh, gotta go. Bon appetit. All right, Tan. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. If we don't see you. So anyway, George Motz started this place in New York called Hamburger America. It's supposed to be like an old school diner. Know me, gotta go. Peace. Yeah. See you, Tan. And so he's traveled around the country. He's written multiple like hamburger history books. He does the thing where every month he's going to bring a different hamburger type from one of his like well-known hamburger people from around the country and like serve that type along with a normal like smash burger and onion burger. Top things I ate in NYC were my favorite tacos. My friend found the best butter chicken in town and of course the bagels. Oh yeah, we'll get to the bagels. I want a smash burger that was amazing. Yeah, Hamburger America was on my list because I watched this guy on YouTube. He's got multiple hamburger cookbooks out there where he talks about like all the regional variants in cuisine. Love the guy. He's also really funny. So I was really excited to go get a chance to try his hamburger restaurant. Well, we get there and they're doing a SpongeBob collab. So it's like get a Krabby Patty meal. So it was a double hamburger with like this red sauce on there trying to be like a Krabby Patty and then fries. Morgan got a normal smash burger. I got an Oklahoma burger. Onion burger, which basically you just put a bunch of shredded onions on the hamburger, and then you press the meat on it, and it caramelizes it burns the onions while cooking the meat. I've tried this multiple times. I don't really like it. I think a normal smash burger is fine. The Krabby Patty was pretty decent, but I was actually really disappointed with the quality of the hamburgers at Hamburger America. And I mean, that's nothing against it. It could have just been a bad day. It could have just been my taste buds were off. It also could have just been, maybe I'm not the biggest smash burger guy. Morgan really liked hers. I thought the Krabby Patty was all right, and I thought the Oklahoma one just tasted like burnt onions. So, it is what it is. We then walked to the Shonen Jump pop-up store that was like 5 blocks away. There was a line that was like half a block long and it wasn't moving, so we actually just kept on walking, and we ended up in like the super fancy street. Like, we were talking, like, there was Tiffany's, there was all of the watch places, like they had security like standing in the door. Like, we ended up in the super rich part, and I was like, oh, we are definitely getting stared down here. I had a big lump crab cake in the rich part of DC. Total disappointment. Oh, I could have told you that one. DC restaurants have most of the time been misses for me. Oh yeah, I know that area, close to the Plaza Hotel. Yeah, we were there, and it was like, oh, we've ended up in the wrong part. Well, anyway, we went back. We had a lunch reservation, or excuse me, we had a dinner reservation, and it was back at High Collar, the restaurant, the Japanese restaurant we had the first day. She originally had made the reservation for that in advance for dinner. She was doing dinner reservations. But then she was like, oh, but they have pancakes, souffle pancakes, so I want to try the brunch, which is the lunch menu, which is why we ended up the first day there. And so I was like, cancel the other one so we could try something different. I ended up finding another sushi restaurant. Yeah, NYC is so expensive that it is 100% unbelievably expensive. So I found another place called Fushigimi, which was a Japanese French restaurant. This place was fire. It was also one of the most expensive places we've eaten. Our check was like $250 with tip. Now, before I preface this, I did get Wagyu. I did get A5 Wagyu. So I saw this place, and they have a lot of really nice stuff. But one of the things they have is a A5 Wagyu experience. They had 4 different versions. You could have a taco. You could have the experience where they come out and cook it on a stone, and then there's another one where they would make like a sushi version of it. I wanted to do the tacos because it was the cheapest. It was like $30, and you get two little tacos. They were like, oh, sorry, we only offer the experience, which was $50, and you got 4 tiny pieces of Wagyu that was cooked on a stone in front of you with like lemon juice, a little bit of shiso, and some like rock salt. We did that. It was fabulous. Was it worth $50? I don't know. That's pretty good for A5 Wagyu. I agree, but I did it because I wanted to say I did it. We also got shishito peppers, which were amazing. I got a crab salad, so a kami salad, which was amazing. I got this thing called the mummy roll, which was fantastic. Morgan got a teriyaki chicken meal, which she liked, but it was like 3 pieces of chicken breast, very light on the teriyaki. We got bang bang broccoli, which was like a Thai bang bang peanut sauce. That was pretty good. They were all fried. They were tempura fried and then had the sauce on it, and they were tasty. I got 2 drinks. The only places I got drinks were Japanese places. I got the Samurai, which was only okay, and I got this thing called the Sakuria, which if you'd been here at the start of the stream, I was talking about. It's my like new favorite drink, mixed drink ever, and it's a sake sangria, used with like yuzu sake, lemon juice, pineapple juice, peach schnapps, and Sprite. I bought all the stuff here, but I'm using Sprite Zero to try and save on the sugar. I thought about using some like no sugar added pineapple juice, but we'll see. Sounds tasty as hell. It's refreshing, doesn't taste like alcohol, and it's wonderful. I had it, and then I was like, I want to know how to make this. So the next day I looked it up, and it wasn't on the menu anymore because it was like a new thing. So I was trying to remember it, but I didn't write down the ingredients or take a picture like I thought I was going to. So I had Morgan call them and ask what was in it, and I wrote it down, and I recreated it last week here at home by myself. I used like a drinking AI that like makes recipes based on what you have, and I was like, here's what I want, here's what I've got, and I was like, can you give me a starting point? And the starting point was like right on. So I have all the stuff in the fridge. I have to wait for Morgan. I don't know if you knew this. Morgan's expecting. She's pregnant. I think everyone else has known but you. Did you know Nigori sake is the type of sake that is cloudy? Apparently it is really good. Yes, it is really good and can be expensive. I really like it. Sake is something that'll flip you up. It's very easy to get off your rocker. I did not. Congratulations, man. Yeah, thank you. I think we told you've been traveling, so you haven't been on the streams recently. So I wanted to make sure you knew. But obviously, I have to wait for her to pop out the baby before she can have any alcohol. So that's why I'm going to keep it until then. And then we ate that about like 5 o'clock because we're very early dinner people, which is 4 o'clock our time because we're in the Midwest, so we're an hour behind. So I was starving about like 10 p.m. So we ordered pizza and had it delivered. La Vera pizza. We got a white pizza. These are slices, not full pizzas. A white slice, a pepperoni and pineapple, and a chicken bacon ranch, and it was fabulous. That was Thursdays. Friday, we chose to not go to the convention because we were told none of our stuff would be available for pickup, and we had some places we wanted to go to that wasn't anywhere near us. That perfect. You could eat before the big rush. It is like we had no issue getting into restaurants, which blows my mind. I thought for sure we were going to have problems the entire time, but it was really no issues. We went to so Friday we called off from going to the con, and we did a trip to a place called Sal's, Chris, and Charles Deli. This is a sandwich that I had seen multiple times on Instagram. I'd seen it on Facebook, and I'd seen it as like a place you should go. And I think they actually sell it on Goldbelly. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Goldbelly, but it's a website that'll sell you like send you food, like special food from a region. But it's like stupid expensive. Like you can get like the best barbecue here in Kansas City, but it'll cost you like $150 to order it. It's ridiculous. I've never actually ordered from them, but I am familiar with their offerings. So I've seen this place and I've wanted to go there. I'm a really big, like, you put a giant sandwich in front of me and I'm as happy as can be. So here's the sandwich we ordered. It's called The Bomb. It was $20, which, considering how much $20 will buy you at Jimmy John's, is the best deal I've ever seen in my life. There's a little bit of a closer up. Now, there's a little bit more for perspective exactly how much filling is on this sandwich. I was only able to eat half of it, and can put down a sandwich. Now that's a sandwich, yeah. This thing, let me read to you what is on this. Sal, Chris, and Charlie's Deli, the bomb. All right, so this bad boy, yeah. So here's the Gold Belly, $125 for a sandwich for 8. So this is a mix of Italian, American cold cuts, salami, ham, roast beef, turkey, and pepperoni, American provolone cheese, lettuce, onions, tomatoes, hot peppers, sweet peppers, a smear of mayo of mustard. And that thing was that thick and that long. It was a sandwich made for my dreams. I only ate half. We had to take one of the lines all the way to the end and then walk 3 blocks. So, like, it was like a 30 to 40 minute metro ride to this place. I would have expected Italian dressing. No Italian dressing. You did get a lot of like the like from the peppers. You got a lot of the like fluid from that on there, so that actually kind of made it more Italian-y. But it sounds great. Yeah, it was fabulous. There was nowhere to sit. This place is just like a convenience store, like with a counter. You go in there, you buy a drink, and you buy your sandwich. There's no place to sit. I like walked to a McDonald's. Morgan ordered some French fries, sat down because they're like, you can't loiter. So she got a drink and a French fry, and I like ate half the sandwich. Was like, I can't eat the rest of this, and I was like, I want to save it so bad, but we had to like walk around to a bunch of other places, so it didn't work. On that way, we also went to this place called Paris Bakery. Paris Baguette, which we got these to try. We took them with us. One of those is a lemon cronut, which I'm always a fan of, a pineapple brulee cream cheese, and then a hash brown and ham roll. It's the thing in the back. Really tasty. From there, we then had to like circumnavigate how to get to this other side. We're gonna go to this Michelin star place that does pierogies. They've been a Michelin star in 22 and 23, and they make their homemade pierogies. Morgan really wanted to go on Friday because they offer apple pie pierogies on the weekend. So she called them up. She's like, "Are you doing these?" And they're like, "Yes." So we had to metro another like 45 minutes plus a walk down to this place, and we got 4 types of pierogies. We got the apple pie. She got normal pierogies. I got a bacon, onion, and cheese, and then I got one that was mushrooms and cabbage. They were really good. They came with sour cream and like a dill sauce. The bacon, onion, and cheese ones were the best. Then the apple pie, which were killer. They were like the lightest apples you've ever had. And then the plain, and then the cabbage and mushroom. There wasn't a lot there. Okay, I think it's been long enough. Let's go make a couple little bowls and try this mix out, and then we'll keep talking. Looks good. Get some Chex in there. What we're all here for, right? All right. There's one. Here's what I think is going to end up being the best. And here's buffalo. We're gonna have to bully my wife into trying the buffalo one. Okay. The thing about New York is there's so many cultures. They have 100 restaurants each. If you find the top 5, for sure, like outstanding. I agree with you. Trying to find the best restaurant in New York of like any type is impossible because everyone's gonna have their preferences. Look at this boy. What an absolute ham. Sorry that his like undercoat is dirty. He got in the pond when he was out and about at the PARK yesterday. Oh. Yeah. All right, so here's the bold. Let me tell my wife to come. All right. So the bold is a classic. It's my favorite of the standard Chex Mix flavors. The reason it's bold is because it has Worcestershire sauce, garlic, onion. That being said, there's not enough not enough of the butter seasoning sauce on this. But when you do get hints of it, it's tasty. Needs a little bit of salt. All right. Here's the buffalo, which is going to be the one that I think is most likely to get dropped. Interesting. There's barely any buffalo flavor in this. What it is doing is leaching pepper jack flavor from the Cheez-It. Interesting. I don't think this one had a fair chance. Yeah. The buffalo one tastes like the pepper jack Cheez-Its. Like it doesn't taste like buffalo.
Oh, I didn't think I was gonna like it because I thought it would just taste like buffalo.
No, I haven't tried.
Smells nice down here.
I haven't tried the honey sriracha one yet. It's in the blue bowl. It's the one I'm looking forward to the most. This is bold, sriracha, buffalo.
I was just gonna go over there and get.
No, I made little tasting bowls.
You made little tasting bowls.
Yeah.
What one's what?
Bold, honey sriracha, buffalo. If I were you, I would start here, here, and here.
Look at that dog.
He was rolled over on his back, and I turned the camera on him.
He gets to go today, by the way.
He does?
Uh-huh.
I haven't been monitoring.
I just texted her.
What?
It was only in a chat with me.
Oh. I thought you were trying to tell me that, like, oh, I can taste the buffalo.
I mean, I can a little.
Yeah, but I taste the Cheez-Its more than anything.
Is it because you don't like Cheez-Its? I like Cheez-Its.
I don't like Cheez-Its by themselves. I think Cheez-Its when they're in a, like, snack mix, trail mix,
Are acceptable.
are acceptable as a added flavor. I just don't like them by themselves.
I taste like normal Chex.
Well, it's because it is normal Chex Mix.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
This one I had no concerns about. Like, this was the base.
I know.
But the base Chex Mix to us is bold.
I didn't
That's what
realize
I like.
that's what your parents made and stuff.
Yeah, it's got Worcestershire sauce in it. That's the flavoring. It's Worcestershire, garlic, onion. Normal Chex Mix is just butter and seasoning salt. So salts with a little bit of other stuff mixed in.
That one's tasty. No, not all of them are fine.
Yeah. They are, but I'm just saying. Do I really want to make 3 types? If 2 types will do it, or if 1 type is way better than the other?
No, I agree.
You're spilling everywhere.
Not with me.
Yeah.
I think this one's the spiciest. I kind of like it. But I don't need a whole thing of it.
Well,
I'm surprised you don't like this one more.
you know I like buffalo.
Yeah, it tastes like buffalo to me. You don't want it, I'll eat it.
It's just, it's not enough like buffalo for me.
Oh, it's the right amount of buffalo for me. Because I don't like a lot of buffalo.
Okay, so all of these I divided by 3 the amount of stuff, but I put more stuff in there. So, like,
Oh,
the seasoning will be much higher on the
I
final
know, that's what I'm
product.
saying. You don't need to make more of this.
I'm not gonna.
But I'm going to eat it.
That's good. Because this also has ranch powder in it. But it's ranch powder doesn't have the mayo in it I don't know if that's what you like or don't like, but it's essentially got buttermilk powder, chives, dill, parsley, all of the other stuff that you would put in there, along with a
That
couple.
middle one's really good.
No,
It has a slightly different flavor, but it's really good.
no, the honey sriracha one is good.
Yeah.
It just needs to be amped up a little bit
I
more.
think, though, if you made a normal batch, it would be.
It would. Ghetto says hi.
Hi!
So just butter, honey, and sriracha is the winner. No, there's actually soy sauce in the honey, sriracha, and butter one. It's supposed to be more honey to sriracha.
I don't normally like honey as much, but that one's tasty. This is just your classic Chex Mix, which is really good and you can make it at any time.
Yeah.
That's going to always do well. But this is a nice variation.
So you like the window panes over the little minis?
Mm-hmm. Well, when they don't have anything on them.
No, I agree. I actually like the window panes more too.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't tell if I hadn't tried them side by side.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, when they're mixed in, you can't tell, but...
Do you like the black or the white bagel chips? Or does it not matter?
I always like the brown bagel chips.
Really? Because they're rye, and you don't like rye.
I know. It's never made sense, but I've always liked them.
I like bagel chips, but I've always liked the white ones, but they're impossible to find.
I like both. It doesn't matter.
Me and Ghetto have been talking about our New York experiences. some more.
No.
No? Okay.
I'll do what I want.
I meant you could take it with you back to where you were working.
I only have like 5 minutes left of my video.
Okay, sorry.
I brought it down with me.
Oh.
So your blinders just went off, so I have to go up and move them.
When the Cheez-Its get some of the honey sriracha on there, it's really good.
I think your winner's honey sriracha.
I can make normal and honey sriracha. There's so much Chex Mix stuff.
Yeah, have you seen our kitchen?
Yeah, the only thing that I don't have enough of is butter.
Oh, when you go buy butter?
I have 6 tablespoons of normal butter and then a whole bunch of the Gold Carry salted butter.
Mm.
I don't think that using salted butter is going to change much.
Mm. Might make it a little too much.
Oh. If you don't like cheese, you must not like cheddar goldfish. Not a big goldfish guy.
I like goldfish.
Morgan loves goldfish. On their own, yeah.
I like goldfish. I like Cheez-Its. You don't like those things for whatever reason.
Can you give me a soda out of the fridge, please? I have weirdly, like a lot of people like cheddar.
Take some of this to your family and have them try it.
I know. Do you think I ought to do that before I commit to making more? I can.
I mean, it's just a thought. We're going to be over there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Beverage.
I've never really cared for cheddar as a flavor by itself. Like, Morgan's family is Southern, so they do this thing called cheese doodles or whatever.
What?
The cheddar cheese doodle swirl things that we had at Thanksgiving one year. What?
Cheese straws?
Cheese straws.
Yeah.
Not cheese doodles?
No, they're cheese straws.
I think cheese doodles is a better name.
Cheese straws are like a known thing.
Okay.
But I did enjoy you calling them cheese doodles. They did make those circular ones once.
I like the Swiss Ritz crackers. No, see, I like Swiss. I just think cheddar inherently is a flavor that I enjoy with other things.
You don't like by itself.
Yeah, I won't like just pull out a piece of cheddar cheese and eat it. I mean, I guess at our age, who does that?
What?
Just pulls out a slice of cheese and eats it.
Who?
Yeah, I'm trying to say who does that at our age. I can understand like a
People who like charcuterie board.
charcuterie boards is not a slice of cheese. That is a cube of cheese.
But they're little slices.
No, I'm talking about like a full-on deli slice of cheese. You pull it out and just go. Oh.
I used to do that when I was younger.
There's the indicator when you were younger.
Uh-uh.
Oh, the dog found a pretzel.
You found a right chip?
Ooh, he got the good ones.
The big ones, the white ones.
Oh, buddy, those are for me.
He was like, win.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand, like, cheese, like, string cheese, but you don't really see cheddar string cheese, do you?
No. It's usually a white cheese.
Yeah, it's usually like mozzarella.
What? Get out of the kitchen. Go be on camera.
My dog is awake. He was on camera, actually, over there.
Oh, come back and be on camera.
Well, he's on camera here, too. Anyway. So, we have our taste test completed. Where were we talking about?
Whether or not you were going to taste test this with your family before you made it.
No, we were talking about, I was talking about what restaurants we were talking about.
Oh, you're talking about New York.
Yeah, that was the easy part. I'm trying to think of where I was in my explanation. Oh, we were talking about the pierogi place.
It was not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah, Morgan didn't like it as much as she thought she would. She was very big about getting us to go there.
I wanted to try it.
I'm not mad. I wanted to try stuff you wanted to have. For dinner that night, though,
Which one is this one, man?
the buffalo. The way that they were ordered over here is the same way they're ordered over there. Bold on the left, sriracha in the middle.
I want it based on the ingredients. The pretzels are different. The Cheez-Its are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it the Ukrainian place in the basement? No.
It's called Pirozek.
It was called Pirozek. Pierozek. And it was ran by, like, not Russians. What were they?
Where pierogies from?
Pierogiville.
Checker.
Yeah, they might have been Czechoslovakian or I don't know. They were very much like European. They were speaking in their language the whole time, except for when they took our order. That was very common of all the places we went to, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Because for dinner that night we went to a place called Oda House, which you would think is, Chinese, Japanese. It was Georgian food.
You picked it.
I'm not mad. So we picked Georgian food because, we really like the khachapuri, which I'm pretty sure I said wrong, which is the Georgian cheese bread with the egg in the middle.
Which you've made, but then they did it differently?
Yeah, they did it differently, and I think Morgan liked it more their way than my way.
No! We just didn't know. They mixed the stuff in the middle.
Well, anyway, we went to this place.
Yeah.
We wanted to be open-minded and try things. We got the Georgian cheese bread, which was a must. We got Georgian dumplings, which looked like upside-down mushrooms. Country of Georgia.
Not steak.
They looked like upside-down mushrooms with like a stalk. So apparently you're supposed to hold them by the stalk and open them. They were almost soup dumpling-like because they were filled with liquid.
And meat.
And meat, but like...
They're just hot.
I opened mine and it just went... They also seem to have a flavor. There's only one Georgian restaurant in my city and I love it. I'm going to be honest with you, it didn't jive with me.
There was some seasoning you didn't like.
Yeah, there was... I don't know if it's like heavy nutmeg or something, but there was a seasoning in everything that I just could not get around. Because I ordered this thing called the Lula kebab with beef and pork. And it was basically a ground beef kebab wrapped in raw onions and a tortilla of some sort that had been like grilled. I should have loved it. It came with cranberry sauce. The cranberry sauce, could not stand it. Came with mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes were fine. But like I kind of forced myself to eat it, but there was a flavor in there I just could not, I did not like. I don't know if it was nutmeg or something else. It was just like very heavy. But that basically was like the flavor of the day for everything we had there. It was a very nice place. It was the coldest water I've had.
It was so good.
In New York. Like it came out with like
it didn't have ice.
It was like frozen on the outside.
Yeah, it didn't have ice, but they had kept it clearly in ice.
Everywhere else in New York, it was like room temperature tap water, which I know is a very European thing, but I hate it. I love my water cold. I love all my drinks cold. Also, weird thing, I don't know what it is with New York against tap water, but everyone was like drinking $8 bottles of sparkling water. I don't understand it. I don't like sparkling water, but it was really weird. It's like tap water tastes fine. I don't know. Maybe there's something they know that I don't, and I'm gonna have like throat cancer.
For 1 week.
Yeah. But Georgian food did not do it for us. Is that the day we went and got... No, that was the Italian place. So we left that kind of hungry, and I think we ended up eating some leftover stuff we had in the fridge, maybe.
Or we stopped for pizza, I don't know.
That might have been a pizza day.
There were 2 days we stopped for pizza. One was Sunday after the show, and there was just another day we did. No,
that was after the Italian restaurant.
Industrial pizza.
Yeah, that was the next day.
No, that was after Order House, wasn't it?
No, that was after Oli Poo.
Oh,
because remember it was right by.
Oh, yeah. So now I don't know what we did. Maybe we did have. Is that the day we ordered food?
No, it was the day before.
Oh.
I may have had a sandwich left over.
I think you did. Hey.
Anyway, the next day was Saturday, which is the day we went back to the con. Picked up some stuff. We were there a long time. We were gonna go eat another breakfast place on the way there, like a diner. And we got there. There's a line out the door. So we were just gonna continue on to the con, but across the street was a bagel place, and I was like, "We haven't had bagels. Let's go get it." This place was called Broad Nosh Bagel. We went in there, and it was a madhouse. But it was like an entire counter with about 20 different types of cream cheese, including some like ridiculous ones. There was like peanut butter Nutella pretzel, there was Oreo, there was mango, there was blueberry strawberry, a million different savory combinations. We went in there, was a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Morgan just got a plain bagel, egg, and cheese.
I wasn't feeling great.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling super great, but she wanted something. I saw a cream cheese flavor that I was like, I have to have that. And it was honey sriracha bacon. I was like, I'm going to try this. And if it sucks, I'll get something on the way. Boy, howdy, was that some of the best cream cheese I've ever had in my life. That bagel with that like cream cheese, it was sweet. It's actually partly an inspiration for why we're making this honey sriracha Chex mix. Because I had some trail mix on the plane. I was like, oh, I'd love some Chex mix. And I was looking up Chex Mix recipes on their website, and they have a recipe for sriracha honey. And that recipe was broken. Like the link didn't work. So I had to find somebody else's. But after having honey sriracha, it was so good. Yum, I just did the basic garlic and chives cream cheese. That's also one of my favorite cream cheeses. I also got a potato latke, which was really good, but greasy as shit. So I only ate half of that. We ate that around, 10 o'clock? Got to the con, spent most of the day there, got a sandwich from like their little concession land thing, which I did a couple of times.
It was really handy.
Yeah. Having it right there and just being able to sit down and eat real quick was nice. We left, and we were going to go to an Italian place called Olio e Più. Olio e Più. This was really highly rated and recommended, so I was excited about this. We get there, and this place is packed. Like, there's barely enough arm length between you and the people next to you at the tables.
Well, and they filled between the tables with like trees and plants.
Yeah.
Move to get so that you can sit.
I don't know if you can hear what she's saying, but like they put trees everywhere and like moving tables around and like wheelchairs and coat racks and just like it was impossible to navigate in this place. We sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get something. They have a apple Caesar salad, and I'm like, oh, that sounds wonderful. Terrible. I ordered a carbonara because I always like getting carbonara at like Italian places because it's more of a technical dish, and I always want to see if they do it any good. It was mid. Morgan also got it without an egg, but she liked it. But I left that place. We spent like $150 off like 4 things. And I was like, what a cheap ripoff. Or no, what a ripoff. I felt cheated. And I was still hungry. So Morgan was like, I was going to tell her, let's go walk to a restaurant, or not a restaurant, a like bakery. There's a Milk Bar, which is a popular Las Vegas Colorado type place. You can get a lot of stuff online too. But I've always wanted to try their corn cookie, which is sweet corn powder cookie. Tastes like cornbread. Well, anyway, Morgan found that there was this, the best pizza place I heard was this place called La Industrie. La Industrie. It's new. 2 locations in New York. Sorry, I've got the burps apparently. So we there was one all the way out in what, Brooklyn? Or was it Astoria?
It was across the water.
It was Astoria. There was one in Astoria, and then there was one where we were. And we didn't know that one existed. So we walked to Milk Bar. We get a couple of cookies. We walk next door, and there's this place that does pie crust cookies. And I was like, interesting. So we get one of those. We didn't eat these. We just put them in our bag and kept going. We see in La Industria, there's a line down the block. And I hear somebody talking about it like, oh yeah, this is pretty common. It's pretty quick. It's like 30 minutes. Now, I will not wait in line for food very often. The only couple of places we've done it for is barbecue, because there's a place here in town called Joe's Barbecue that there is usually a line, but the line is made to move. This place, I thought, oh, it's pizza. Pizza's pretty quick. It won't be too bad. We waited 51 minutes for our pizza, which was fine because it was some of the best pizza I've ever had in New York. Like, was it worth a 51-minute wait? But it was, I ate my slice and was like, this is good pizza. I could see why people love this. There was also people who ordered it ahead of time and then walked in and got it.
But the online was still an hour wait.
The online was still an hour wait. I would have 100% ordered it, let somebody else figure it out, and then bring it to me. 100%. I would have paid any price. But that was some pizza we had that was super good. I think I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, folks. The only other thing that we had of note was a place called No No No, which was another Japanese place that did yakitori. Did fried rice there. I got to do lobster with butter yakitori, prime kalbi yakitori, and a snow crab yakitori, which was awesome. And then a crab fried rice, which was really good. We also tried gyoza, some yaki corn, which was just grilled corn. It was almost like basically
like
corn rib.
Place.
Yeah.
And then they had all the skewers.
And then she also got a Wagyu diced steak, American Wagyu, that was one of the best things I had in that restaurant. It was all small plates. It was almost like tapas. Because, I mean, if you know yakitori, it's a little skewer. It would have probably cost me $500 to get full at that place, but everything I had was fabulous. It was very much like a yummy, I would love to eat there again, but I would have to go to another restaurant immediately after, which I feel bad about. I did get to try a lemon sour there, which is a very popular Japanese drink. It wasn't great. I don't know if it was theirs just wasn't great, or if it's just not great in general. I'll have to give it another try, but really, We then went to the John Oliver and Seth Meyers show right after that, which we enjoyed. It was probably a highlight. And then the next day, we went to a place called Applejack's, which was a diner on Times Square. It was terrible. It was very mid, let's put it that way. Compared to like breakfast places out here where you get like a pretty nice breakfast for pretty cheap, pretty quickly. I would much rather eat breakfast out here than I would like try to go to one of those places in New York. That's what I'm saying. Not terrible, it was mid. And then we got on our plane and flew back. That was our trip in a nutshell. I think I am going to take Morgan's advice and package this up and take it to my parents and sisters and brother-in-law and see what they think is the best flavor and narrow it down from there. So I think I'm going to call the stream here. We have been going for almost 2.5 hours, which is a surprise. Sounds like some good eating overall. No, I love the food we had. Like that was the highlight of the trip was the food and the show. The convention was pretty decent. I was impressed as hell with the metro. It did take us 4 days to figure it out perfectly. Because I'm used to the one in DC where you can switch back and forth pretty easily, and it's all like self-contained. The one in New York, you like gotta sometimes go up and around, like leave the station and come back in the other side, or you gotta run. Like there was a lot of like little things I screwed up and had to learn while doing it, and there's no one there to hold your hand. We didn't build a lot of time into like traveling. It was like, oh, it's 30 minutes. Let's leave 45 minutes. So we've got 15 minutes of, oh, I fucked up built in. But if you accidentally ride the train the wrong way and it's like a 10-minute wait for the next train, you don't really actually build yourself any time in. Yeah. But I had a good time. I'd love to hear more about yours, Ghetto. We should be tomorrow. We're doing a pork loin at 5 p.m. Central. Pork loin and some like apples and cabbage stuff. So if you've got time, come back tomorrow and tell me all about yours. I'm curious to see what places you ate, what you did, and I'd want to hear how DC was for you. I'm always curious to hear how people like DC. It's okay. I think they've got a good metro though. Like it's pretty easy to navigate and get to where you're going. But yeah, sounds good. I'll try catching you later. Enjoy the rest of Sunday. Yeah, you too, Ghetto. Have a good one. We're gonna call it here. We're gonna find someone to raid. I don't know how many people are actually even still watching at this point, but we'll find somebody to show some love. All right, appreciate it, guys. See you tomorrow.